QR codes, there's a number of different sites that you can use to generate QR codes. But with QR codes, again, you need to consider the use of this QR code. Very often what we are doing is we are sending a QR code to a learner to a learner on a cell phone. Now remember, in order to scan the QR code, you need the cell phone in order to scan the QR code to begin with. So in other words, you won't be able to actually scan that QR code if you are sending it to a cell phone. So just be mindful of that. QR codes typically work best if they are on hard copies that you send to someone. So in other words, if you print out a pamphlet, if you print out a document, because it makes very little sense to create a QR code if it's going to be sent to someone electronically, then you might as well just give them a link that they can use. So it's a simple question of what are you using, when are you using it. If it's a digital thing that you're sending to someone, rather use a link, rather use something like a bit.ly. If it's a hard copy that you're going to send to someone, then a QR code makes a lot of sense. But what we are seeing as well is people are sending QR codes over WhatsApp to learners. Now, naturally, that would require someone to get another cell phone to scan the QR code from that cell phone. So all that we're saying when we're talking about these things is be mindful of what you are creating, what you are actually sending to people. So in order to create a QR code, and again, there are many different websites out there that you can use to create QR codes. I tend to like this one called QR Code Monkey. It's a simple case of find a URL, paste the URL into it, and then you just simply say create QR code, and it will generate a QR code for you, and you download your QR code and then input it into anything that you want to use. Code Monkey gives you the option where if you want to, you can change the colors of the whole thing. So we can decide to generate a red on blue QR code. You can even use a color gradient if you want. If you want to add a logo image, you can add a logo image. We're not going to do that. And then you can also fiddle around with the actual look of the thing. So let's take something a little bit silly, and we say create QR code. So now we have something that looks like this for our QR code. Very different than the normal QR code. The one thing that I will warn you about is that the normal black on white with the basic squares, nothing too complicated, is the one that still works the best, is the one that is most reliable. But of course, if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you are welcome to play around, because we all know these QR codes, they are not particularly exciting to look at, but Code Monkey is quite nice in the sense that it gives you a variety of different things to use. Just to show you again, when we started with this whole thing, all that you need to do is you need to enter a URL. If you're uncertain what the URL is, any website that you visit, so in other words, here at the top, in the website address, that is the URL that we are using. So any website that you use or that you access will have a URL. As an example, if you look at the different ones, I'm just clicking through a number of different ones just to show you. You copy that, select it, right click, copy, and then you just simply paste it into this URL section, and then you can create your QR code. But again, I can't stress this point enough. Be careful what you are using your QR codes for. If you are simply using your QR codes to send it to a cell phone and expect them to scan it, then it doesn't make any sense really.